side of the street. Go up your curb around the bend. You go to that juke joint, man, you walk on in, that's what you do. You drop a coin to the side. It was just the other morning, I was hanging around in my house. I had that new book with all those pictures of Madonna naked in it. I thought, fuck it, I'll check it out.
Just letting donators know, feel free to leave any comments regarding the viewing of Exile Part 2 below.
Hello all, Steve here, FlipsideCT. Thanks for joining in here watching this. Got 3 topics to talk about, and 2 are Stones related, and 1 is also for the vinyl community, showing you some records that I've purchased, and some cool ones, of course, and I wanted to share it with you. That's what my channel's about, too. And so the first thing is with regards to the Rolling Stones. The tour started, and anyone who's going to the show, enjoy themselves, have a blast. You know, we don't know how many more there will be, of course, and hey, you know, it's just a wonderful event to have. I am personally not going. I do watch it on Facebook, people showing clips, and thank you all. There's some great channels, or I should say groups. Shadoobie is one on Facebook, and last year, I believe last year, they actually did a live showing of a show. I think it was Pittsburgh, and it was just wonderful. I watched the whole thing, and I walked upstairs and went to bed. No traffic, but nothing like being there, I know. But anyway, check those things out too, you know, online, and there is some YouTube channels that are posting some of the excellent streaming of some of the songs. So I'm not going to go in there and give a critique of anything. Just take it what it is. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, well, I guess it's 4 things. I got a what we call a VCLT, a Vinyl Community Love Train. I got a letter and a package from Brisbane, Australia, from Conrad. Thank you so much, Conrad. I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it. He sent me a goodie package. Of course, it costs a lot of money to ship things, so he did what he could afford, and that was wonderful. It was wonderful to see. I'm not going to show everything, but he did send me a couple DVDs, Rolling Stones 76 tour. I don't know if it's a bootleg or whatever. And if you haven't seen this one for Stones fan, being Mick, I've seen this. I enjoy watching it. Really fun documentary on Mick when his solo record time. He also sent me this, which is just outstanding. This is a promo of Talk is Cheap. How do I do this? Yeah. So it's like a hockey puck, and you open it up, and voila, comes out a something. Well, these are. It's like it's a CD set, and it's got all the small print, all the information, and these are really fun, cute CDs that give, you know, there's like 2 or 3 of them. So anyway, that was a pleasure to see and get. Thank you so much, Conrad, and thank you all the rock and rollers down in Australia. I know there's many of you who communicate to me, and you guys are on it, and I just appreciate, you know, your support. So thank you so much down there. So the other thing was next thing I'm going to talk about are my albums that I purchased, and then after is going to be something about Exile Part 2. Some important information right now, definitely for the donators. And so the first thing I want to do, and I want you to freeze frame when you can, whoever gets this first, I'm going to give out redeemed digital version card. But whoever doesn't know about Todd Snider and the several bands that he has very active. He's out in Nashville now. I believe he's from either Washington or Oregon. Anyway, he watches this channel too and has communicated with me, and we're in touch, and I hope one day I could see him real soon. He is going on a tour with actually John Prine's band as a backup, so it's going to be an outstanding tour for him. But this Hardworking Americans is a band I knew about before I met Todd, and it is just super cool rock and roll and music. He's actually doing folk type, he terms it correctly, and I'm not good at the terminology, so check him out on the website, you know, for Todd and what he does. He moved to Nashville, and he lives in, you know, the cool part of town. I guess it's East Nashville. And this is a live album. And here is the download card. I don't usually listen to vinyl, so sometimes CDs, of course, too. But download, whoever. I'm not responsible if this is still active, because this album is a little bit old. But here you go. Jot it down. And good luck. Let me know if you got it, if it worked, whoever gets it. And this is a live album. Now, one thing that's really cool with Todd is he's got a great band and a great backup band. And Neil Castle is part of it. He sadly took his own life. He played with Chris Robinson Brotherhood also, and he is just brilliant guitarist. But this is a live album I got. I haven't dived into this yet because I've been so busy, but I'm going to, and also buy more of Todd's records. Check him out on YouTube. He's just a wonderful person, down to earth, great rock and roll, great folky, great Americana music, whatever you want to call it. Don't know the terminology, but give him a shot, and he's got some great merch also. So I went to a vinyl record show in Middletown, Connecticut at oh gosh, I don't even know. It's a radio station that supported it. I'm sorry, guys, but it's at Wesley College. Anyway, I've been going there for years, but I haven't been there for a while. So I picked up 4 albums, and again, through Todd, he does a lot of recommendation, a lot of talking. Oh, if you know Otis Gibbs, he has Todd on plenty. Jerry Jeff Walker, and this is a live album. Again, most of these I have not had the time. I'm just going to show this one. This is another Jerry Jeff that I bought from another show in Westport, Connecticut. Actually, I will mention this. I went to see, with my wife, at Westport. They have a great venue in the library. They got a lot of money, tell you that, to promote bands and discussions. It's a great forum. And I actually got to see Tony Visconti talk. Now, he's on YouTube and all over the place. I am hoping you know who Tony is and his contributions. Do I even go there? Jeez. Tony Visconti. Look him up if you don't know. Those of you who know, you're smiling, I'm sure, and know who he is. And he gave a great interview, and my wife walked away, and we bought his book, and she walked away really a fan of his now. And he's a real gentleman and great contributor to the music industry. He's just phenomenal. He worked with Bowie, let's put it that way. The Trilogy albums, definitely, and T-Rex. And I'm saying that because who was in the audience also, and I met him prior and talked to him in another sweetheart of a person was Carlos Alomar. He was in the audience, and he worked with Tony, so he must have been invited because he's in Brooklyn, and he's a teacher there at the Brooklyn Academy, I think. But anyway, then after that, there was John Densmore talking, and he was interviewed. And he was wonderful to listen to and hear his stuff. The interviewer was terrible. And I even told the library this, that it was just so bad. It was a CNN journalist who did interviews. She lived locally, and she just had no clue how to talk and interview John. It was just sad. He even actually went to the audience and said, look, I don't usually do this. What do you guys want to talk about? Her questions were so bad. Anyway, you know, say it like it is, that's all. So that was Visconti. Yeah, so I did have work to say. So back to Middletown Record Show. I've been very anxious to get records for the staple singers, especially the earlier ones. This one's from 70s, and this is a great, from Stax. Anyway, yeah. So give them a listen to, you know, pause, stop, later on, you know, look up staple singers, the early albums, and give it a listen to, because needed it for my collection. Very cool. Otis Spann, I love buying Otis Spann albums, blues. This one was $15 in beautiful condition. And from my buddy Malcolm Tent, who is, he plays in a band called Anti-Scene. It's a 40-plus-year-old band, and he's the bass player. Not the whole time, but he is out of Danbury. Actually, if you do know who he is and who I'm talking about, he is moving to North Carolina. And he has a YouTube channel, which I get so much information from. He's so knowledgeable. He had his own record store. He is a super geek, Malcolm Tent. And he talked about, and I've seen this band before, and I know who they are, and I wanted to get this. But the Laughing Dogs, this is a power pop, as you say, and I forgot what this history is with this cover. I want to say that this was supposed to be used by Kiss or somebody. I forget. But anyway, he tells a great story. But I saw this band in '79 open up for Blondie in Asbury Park. And I remember it very visually. In fact, it's even on YouTube. A record show, May 4th, 24. If it's after this, forget it. But I'm probably going to be there. I guess that's this week, this Saturday. Okay, so my other thing is albums I got from going to a flea market. Those of you who know me, stuck with me, know that I used to go a lot. And I used to buy albums galore and get them at the good, great prices. And that doesn't happen anymore. However, about 2 weeks ago, I go to up in Elephant's Trunk in Brookfield, is it? New Milford? Anyway, and you might catch some albums. And it was a very slow day. So one guy had a whole mess of his personal collection. Phenomenal albums. So I got these. Well, no, I won't show this one yet. I got Quicksilvers. This one has Nicky Hopkins in it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. You should know who Quicksilver is. And I didn't have that one. This is just an upgrade because his albums were so clean and so good. Again, so clean, so good. And actually, yeah, this one doesn't belong there. So my story is with Bootsy. In high school in '78, I had a African-American friend, and Brooksy, and we would go back and forth talking about music in 1978, And I would turn him on to the Stones, to Zeppelin, of course, and, you know, other bands that were really good, Cheech and Chong, and I'd give him my albums to go home and listen to. He would give me his albums, Parliament Funk, Bootsy. So this is my first time since then owning a Bootsy album. I have the Parliament, of course, that just speaks for itself. Also this one, this is from 57, 50... Her first album, sometime during the 50s, again, pristine album. And, oh, and then there was this from a guy who was just selling, I got this for $4. This is from the 50s. And it's not so much my type of jazz. I'm more of a Chet Baker, slower pace, not the bop. But that's a French version. Okay, so the one thing is too here, I went to a show last night in Fairfield, Connecticut at the Community Theater, which is Sacred Heart, and it's a 100-year-old theater they recently purchased, and they're having shows there. Not the A-lists, but more of other bands and people and artists and everything. And it was a 800 seat, maybe 500. I don't know, but I saw Jim Croce's son. Croce plays Croce, and his name is AJ Croce, and I actually bought his album there, and he plays his dad's songs along with his own. He's a storyteller, and it's just very magical, and the sound was great. His backing band was just wonderful. Steve Miller, drummer, a B.B. King bass player, and I forget the guitars. They were all great, and it was just a great time with my wife. She was bouncing and really happy, and I didn't know his music, but I know he did play and talk about Ian McLagan, and he knew him. He told a story about Rod Stewart putting him to sleep and singing him some Scottish songs, and that's when they lived in San Diego. And he played Stay With Me, and it was just a short version, but it was just so good. Anyway, that is that. So if you want to hear now more, I actually finished my part 2 making of Exile. It is 3 hours and 20 minutes long, and I didn't finish. So I got a part 3 coming. It is so much information, so many rabbit holes, and I gotta say, the people that watch my documentaries, I really admire and thank you, because it's not a typical person that watches these, because I think you gotta have a good attention span, you gotta have some intelligence, and you're not here for a quick in and out. You here to absorb, hear, listen, process. So you have intellect, and kudos to those who are watching, and I thank you for getting it and understanding it. So 3.2 hours. I haven't even gotten to the tour yet. I could even went longer, but I started worrying about the size and anyway, you get it. So it covers the Nelcott. It covers LA, Sunset, the making of the album cover, the postcards, Robert Frank, some song details, not all of them yet, but it really, to me, is a really enjoyable one to watch. I got sucked into it, watching it as a fan myself, and what can I say? I mean, it's just Stones info that's so cool. And the thing is, I had said this before, that this is for my donators, people who have been going to PayPal and sending me some donations, a gift, I should say, for my work efforts. It took so many days, about 3 months of time, and I would say it was about 80% of my time every day since for the 3 months of working. And I enjoy it, but it's just so in my personal time. and doing it. So the donators and gift givers are just helping me out for, like, okay, there's some reward here. You know, the monetary reward. I do get the intrinsic rewards for sure. But anyway, that is for the donators, part 2. It will be available, part 2 and part 3 for the donators too, which will be the tour. And I will set it out to the public sometime, maybe towards the end of the year. I'll put it out for the public. For those who can't donate, don't have money, you know, I totally get it, I understand, but at least you'll be able to see it. And those who want to still contribute, hey, everything helps, believe me. I do appreciate that tremendously. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. If you have not seen a email from me, and it's my personal email you're getting it from, saying to go look at these links, then you need to contact me. I got a handful of people I'm going to show who I don't have proper emails or never gave me one. So the list is going to come up. You could stay on and look to see if you're in there. If not, go check your emails and see, because I sent them out. It's very challenging to do this, and basically what it is, the private videos, and you have to add the YouTube sign-in emails and saying, here, this person is allowed to view it. So I add all these emails. It's a whole list. Now the bad side is YouTube only allows 50 people, and I luckily and thankfully have more than 50 people, so I had to do 2 postings. But anyway, I'm sending out the links. You check that out. Look to see if your name is in here, and you need to contact me somehow. How I, you know, do it in this comment here. Give me your email and figure it out. But the list of people are the ones who I couldn't get a hold of. That's what I got. Enjoy those Stones tour, guys who are seeing them. Bless you, man. That's great that you're going to see them. And very lucky. And there's several folks who publish things and always watching. And that's it. Thank you for everything. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
But God knows I try. I think I'm no right guy. Think I'm alright. Alright. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. Alright, 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 alright. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I'll always like that one, man. When we were recording that, Vince Gill was there that day, because a lot of the studios here in this town, there's other people across the hall or whatever. And he came over and was like, "You gonna leave the dicks part in there?" I've always liked that guy ever since.